What's going on, guys, and welcome to today's video. And today we are going to be adding factory OEM fog lights to a Jeep Grand Cherokee WJ. This is 99 through 04. Now it's kind of cool because so far all the ones that I have messed with at least are pre-wired for the fog lights from the factory. So you really only need just a few things to actually make the fog lights work. Now, first thing is a set of fog lights from a salvage yard. Now you do need an additional thing. So like I said, you will need the fog light and you are going to need a fog light bracket. Now this is not just a loose piece. This is a piece that is molded into a factory bumper. Now, as you guys can see, this is my factory non-fog light bumper. It just has these two little slats in it. But a fog light front bumper cover will have this molded in this same exact area. So at the salvage yard, I found one that the bumper was torn up on. So I just used a pair of snips and cut all the way around on both sides and ended up with these little bezels. So once you've got both of your fog lights and bezels, you are going to need a fog lamp relay. Now that is located up here on the interior fuse box, way up high. I will try to throw in kind of a diagram of where that relay is because it's going to be darn near impossible to show you guys where that relay goes, but there is a blank spot or a empty relay cavity on a body control module of a WJ that never got factory fog lights. So at the salvage yard where you are grabbing your fog lights and the back retainer bezel, you're also going to need to grab the fog lamp relay. And then last but not least, you are going to need the multifunction switch that has the fog lights function that you pull out and have fog lights. Now, the only reason this Jeep has the fog lamp multifunction switch is because a little while ago in a video previously, we added the auto headlight function to this Jeep, which didn't already have it. So I'm gonna throw a link up here or down in the description to this video that shows you how to install the multifunction switch. And while you're at it, you can also do auto headlights, which is a pretty cool thing. So this video is not going to be showing the multifunction switch, but again, just watch that other video if you want to know how to put the switch on. But like I said, you will need the switch out of that salvage yard Jeep so you can add fog lights. So the main thing that we're going to need to do is cut out this old fog lamp delete area. Now, I am pretty sure when I did this to the Burgundy Jeep, I did it on vehicle. I didn't pull the bumper cover, but I'm going to go ahead and pull the bumper cover so I can better show you guys kind of cutting and how the fog lights fit. So I'm going to get this bumper cover pulled off. At least on this 99 through 01, I have to get all of these upper grill screws out, which I've already got pulled out because that grill section is going to come out with the lower bumper cover. Jumping over here into the wheel well, we have a 10mm bolt that goes straight up. And then we've got 3 plastic rivets or clips or whatever yours currently has holding that inner fender liner to the bumper cover. And then last but not least, under the Jeep, we've got 1, 2, 3 clips holding the lower cover to a kind of metal retainer. Now, one thing I guess I needed to say before you start any of this project is make sure your Jeep is pre-wired for the fog lights. Now, like I said, my 99 and this 2001 both have been factory wired. So are most of them? Kind of maybe. Are all of them? I have no idea. So take a look before you go to a salvage yard and take the time to get the parts. Now, what you're looking for, if you were to look up from the bottom of the bumper or look in behind your inner fender liner, you can see these 2 connectors, one on each side. That are for the factory fog lights. So you can unhook those and you have your connectors ready to just plug into the fog lights. So guys, once you get the bumper off, you're going to need to cut out the back of the fog light delete bezel area. Now I've went ahead and got one side already done just so you can kind of see the end product and then what it looks like before and kind of show you how it goes together. So here is a not cut fog light bezel area. You can see this nice line that goes all the way around. And then if we come over to the other side, you can see that I have cut on that nice sharp edge all the way around. So looking at it from the back side, you will put the fog light through. This is that piece that we basically cut off of a factory bumper at the salvage yard. You can see it was, you know, from the factory attached, just like the fog light delete one was. And again, you will just cut along that kind of hard edge, tuck your fog light in. It will kind of seat honestly pretty nicely on that lip. Set your bezel on, drop some of the hardware down into the bumper, and fish that back out. But once you get both of these 10mm nuts tight, obviously we'll tighten that up, but that thing is going nowhere. That is basically factory installed as it's going to be. So back here on the front side, you can see it just looks factory, and that is because it is. So now how am I cutting this? I believe on my red Jeep, I used a air tool, a cutoff wheel, and cut right around it, made very quick work of it, but I wanted to see, can I just use hand tools? And that's what I used on the other side. And I just have some metal snips. I'm sure you guys will correct me, but I call them metal snips. I've got kind of a straight one and then just a slight offset one. And I just went around and cut this thing. It cut very, very nicely without much effort. And again, I just cut all the way down to that edge and all the way around. So now once you've got the rough cutout done, I took just a single edged razor blade and you know, just ran it along the top and tried to get the thing as perfectly flush as I could. Because what we're trying to do is have that fog light sit, you know, as flush, and the retainer and everything just fit really nice. And again, guys, once you have that hole cut out, you're ready to stick the fog light through. Now this one, the stud came out with the 10mm nut, but still the same. You will go ahead and thread down both of those nuts, and you've got fog lights installed. So now that we've got both of those fog lights installed, we've got those rear retainers on, we are ready to put the bumper back on. Now it is relatively easy to just go ahead and plug in your fog lights as you're putting the bumper on. And then get the bumper into place. There are a couple of plastic kind of tabs that the bumper slides into, and then you're going to want to make sure your inner fender liner is pushed on the inside lip of the bumper. So once we get that bumper back into place, we can get our 10mm bolts that go on each side of the bumper. We can get the top grill screws back in. And then we've got the 3 bottom clips that go up under the bumper. And then depending on what style of clip your Jeep had, from the factory, they are plastic rivets, which are these little things here that you use a plastic rivet tool for. Now you can buy this super cheap at Harbor Freight. It's a plastic rivet tool, and then I think they come with quite a few of the plastic rivets in the box when you buy it. So if you want it factory OEM, run to Harbor Freight, get you a cheap one, and be happy. Now you will probably have to fire up the Jeep, turn the tire so you're able to get straight onto those holes. Now once you get the wheel turned, you can kind of get straight onto those plastic rivet holes. You can set a plastic rivet into the tool, put it in the hole, and then you just pull it. It breaks the end off and is a very nice looking fastener. So of course you want to do all three on each side of the wheel liner area, and then you are done with the outside of the vehicle. So now the last thing for me, since I already have my multifunction switch installed, and you obviously won't if you are adding fog lights, but again, watch the auto headlight video that shows you how to install that multifunction switch. But since, like I said, mine's already installed, the last thing I need to do is install the fog lamp relay, and that lives on the fuse box that is up under this kick panel. So to get to that, we are going to need to first pull the clips for the kind of lower steering column piece, and there's no screws, it just will pull straight out of the dash. Now next, there should be a screw or bolt, one at each area here at the top, and then one on each side here at the bottom. This Jeep is missing because someone's been in here and has not put it back together. So I will need to get some hardware and put that together correctly, but yours should have a couple here at the top and two at the bottom. And then last, it will have a screw here on the very outside of the dash. And then that panel will just pull straight out towards you. And then that will let you see your fuse box area. And right up here at the bottom left corner is an empty relay. And that is where our factory fog lamp relay is going to go. Again, I just pulled this out of the salvage yard vehicle that I pulled the fog lights from. So we will just install that again in that bottom left spot. And now we've got our fog lamp relay. So now we should be able to turn our headlight switch forward one, pull it out, and hopefully have some fog lights on. So guys, as you can see, we've got fog lights going. Now guys, obviously I need to throw everything back together under the instrument panel area. And since I didn't have to take them off and really show you guys, here are the two screws that top piece should have, and then on the bottom there is one on each side. So I need to get this thing thrown all back together inside, but that's how you add factory fog lights to a WJ. Again, I have no clue. Were they all pre-wired? I really don't know. So definitely take a look before you crawl under a salvage yard Jeep and start cutting off the fog lights. Now 99% of Grand Cherokees I've seen have the fog lights already, but I guess I own two that didn't originally have them. Both of them were Laredos. So I don't know. It's a relatively easy thing you can do at home with hand tools, no power tools, and you can add fog lights, and they work like they should with the factory switch. And the factory indicator even works on the dash. So guys, hopefully this is helpful if your Jeep doesn't have fog lights, or even if it does, kind of interesting that everything is there. The light on the dash, the wiring under the front bumper, it's a cool factory OEM plus upgrade. And I don't know, I like adding things that the Jeep didn't have but is factory and just making it your own. So guys, as always, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time.